Hey everybody, today we're going to talk a little bit about this motion conversion that we've been kind of in the process of. We're getting a little bit further. Just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with this as we get closer to having some of these pieces in your stores. So first things first is what are we doing and why are we doing it? So we're doing a new manual and power mechanism for the 440 motion platform. So you'll see those numbers convert. You've probably heard or seen in your system, the 444, 448, etc. And this is going to give us a more customizable and more comfortable sit. So in your manual pieces, you're going to have a better pre-recline and slouch position. The angle from the backrest to the seat is a little bit wider, so you have a better TV watching position. And then the same position holds true in your power prefixes. And you're also going to get a faster speed. It's 1.5 seconds increased in speed. So you're seeing about a 25% increase in that speed of that motor. And then your feet are going to come up a little bit further before your backrest starts to go down. So they seem like small changes, and to a point they are, but it's going to make a big difference for your end consumer. If you were here for the Duo enhancement, where we just took the motor and made it a one touch and changed nothing else, but that perception was huge. And so this is going to be a really great thing for us in our motion line. So for the manual version, you'll notice that we've got the same wall proximity, so that 4 to 6 inches. The pre-recline, you're still going to be able to recline the backrest without raising the leg rest. That is specific to La-Z-Boy, and we want to keep that. Backrest stay removable, none of that changes. And your trigger release, the operations on manual will stay the same. What you will see is we have a new track and wheel design. So the backrest is going to feel a little bit different when it reclines. And you're going to have back pivot joints for the lumbar that allow that backrest to move. Excuse me, some of the leg rest safety cams on the power pieces. You'll notice that when we go there. And then in your power enhancements, first thing you're going to notice there's two options in power. We're going to have a U prefix and an X prefix. So you'll have lumbar available in some of your motion, your 400 series motion groups now. Your headrest is still there, and then you'll have head and lumbar. We're getting rid of that P prefix with just the power option. So just like we did in the 300 series and in chairs, you're going to see that P prefix drop out of the motion line. And then again, we're keeping that new track and wheel system. You're going to have a better angle for TV watching. And then there's a different safety feature in the leg rest. So some of you may have seen that breakaway footrest that's in our current like 44P, 44U motion sofas. And what we're going to do is we're going to change that so it's more of a tension spring. So it's still going to be a safety feature so nothing gets stuck under the leg rest. But you won't have as many of those service calls where people don't know about the safety feature or how to reset it. And then we can prevent that from being a service issue down the road. How they're going to work. So you're going to have toggles as your standard instead of those silver buttons on any of the U and X prefixes. So if it's a U prefix, you're going to have two toggles like you see here, one toggle for the headrest and one toggle for the full reclining motor. You'll have a home button, but what you'll notice is there are no preset memory buttons on this standard toggle feature. You do still have your USB. But in order to get those presets, you will have to upgrade to the wireless remote. Now, it is still a W2 option, so you still have that choice, and you'll get the wireless remote on both ends with that option. But that also gives you then the memory presets. So it's an additional bonus feature when you upgrade to that wireless remote. And then you'll see the same thing on the X prefixes. So you'll see the X44, X48, X49 as your major three. And that's going to have three toggles. So again, one for the recline, one for the headrest, one for your lumbar. Your home button is still there. And then you have that W2 option to get the wireless remote and then two memory preset buttons. We talked about this a little bit too at our last market meeting. You'll see the new console. Those should be hitting your floors in the next couple of months. And so we're going to upgrade the black plastic to a platinum finish on the cup holders. You'll notice that the panel or that flap on the console that covers up the storage compartment now has hinges, so it's a little bit more sturdy. And then there's a drawer in the front. You can see all that in the picture. The other thing that's here is that we've increased the height of that console by 3.9 inches to give you a more level sit so that your shoulders aren't leaned down on one side when you're sitting in the console piece. And then we do have the new option, that CB option. So that's going to be your power bundle. And you can see that pictured here. So you get all the same features, the drawer, the platinum cup holders, the hinges here. What we're going to see as an addition are you're going to have this wireless feature, wireless charging feature, and a table. Your table, you can order additional tables. That's going to be this 088110 prefix. And this is what you'll have as far as features and additional options with that CB code. So like I said, you'll have the wireless charging, you'll have the power strip. So you'll notice in the power strip, you've got 2 outlets and 2 USBs. They are in the front of that little cubby now, so you don't have to try and twist your arm backwards to get to it. And then that table, there's those 2 silver rivets in the front. That table has a post and will set into either of those rivets. Each console piece of furniture will come with 1 table. You can order the additional ones from that previous slide. So that 088110 number, that's your additional kit for the table if they want a second table, but they will come with 1. You can use it on either side. It'll spin around. I think offhand, it's maybe 9 by 12 in size. It's not super big, but enough to set snacks or a laptop on. Gives you that additional feature. It is important to remember that you can only get this CB option if your main piece is a U49 or X49. It's not available on the manual version of the Loveseat with the console. You guys will also get some new point of sale. These will come in that you'll be able to tag, and it'll say relax while you charge, recharge while you relax rather. And that's going to indicate the wireless charger to really call attention to that. And then you've got some new prefixes here. So this grid shows you the old prefix and then what the new one is. This is for your sofa, chair and a half, your love seats. And so as you kind of look through that, you'll see the 440 is a 444. That 410 that you'll see in like the Roman is now a 445. So you'll see some conversions here. I will attach this as a PDF so you guys can print these if you want that page in the email. And we're also converting the sectionals or the modulars. So you'll see the James and the Trooper modulars have converted or are converting after April market. And these are all of those new prefixes. So you'll see the old prefix for some of the chairs and other items that hadn't converted yet. And then you'll see the new prefixes for all of the sectional pieces. Okay, so this grid is going to be your guys' kind of go-to as we navigate this conversion. So if you'll notice on the far left of each section, it tells you when that group of styles was or will be converted fully. There's a lot of data here. I've also attached the Excel version of all of this information so you guys can print it, do what you need to with it in the stores. But we'll take a look at this top section. So on October 2022, that was the first set of styles that we converted. It shows all the new prefixes for each style, and it shows when the first acknowledgement day was. So what that means is that's the first week that we're going to take those units and start producing them in manufacturing. We're going to acknowledge that we're going to schedule them, I guess I should say. And then the second column where it gives you that first ETS week. Each one of those is a different factory. There's no way for you guys to know which factory you're coming out of. So I would just use the furthest date out as your latest possible estimate as you're working with customers. What's important to look at on the 2 right columns are your dropped prefixes and your last act date. So for the October 2022 section, everything is dropped and the last acknowledgement date was April 17th. We're past that. So for the J, the Trooper, the Brooks, and the Morrison, 100% you're ordering the new prefixes because we will not be able to get any of the other prefixes. They'll kick out in manufacturing. You guys will get an email that says, hey, you have to reorder this or reselect or whatever. So all of the prefixes on those 4 styles, you're good with the new ones. We have this winter section 2023, and you'll notice in the far right-hand column, you've got 2 different dates. So you're going to notice the manual version of the sofa and the regular love seat all have a last act date of April 17th. So as a rule of thumb, if you're ordering anything manual going forward, you want to make sure it's the 444 and the 448 for those two pieces. So if you're ordering a regular sofa or a regular love seat in manual in our 400 series motion, you want to make sure it's the new mechanisms. What you'll notice are there's differences for the power prefixes and anything with the console because of the addition and upgrades. And those dates are a little different. So you'll notice some of those styles, all the stuff from winter, their last acknowledgement date is going to be June 12th. Now, keep in mind, you need about a week for acknowledgements. So I would pull that back to really the first week of June as your last acknowledgement. And then as you get into your April 2023 groups, you're going to see a different date pop up depending on style. So for the Grayson, you're going to see that we have those power prefixes and those U prefixes on the old style available until the beginning of October. But if you're looking at the Dorian, you're back to a June date. So just use this guide and make sure we're double checking. And then you'll notice in this box that's on the right-hand side that's highlighted in yellow, those are the last remaining planned changes for October 2023. So you're going to see the Soarin', the Jolt, and the Easton. Again, the 440, 480, those sofa love seat pieces are already converted. But the remaining ones, we don't have an actual date yet because we're still working on that conversion. And that those dates can change sometimes. So I just want to make sure you guys had this. If there's questions on it, obviously, as we go through this conversion, please reach out. But I wanted to send this because this is the most accurate information that we have and the most up to date. And then what you'll see is we've also got a sheet like that for just the modular pieces. So same breakdown, but you'll see those last act dates are a little different depending on the sectional. So the Devon and the Reese have already converted. And then the Trooper and the James are upcoming, and you've got until August with those old prefixes as we work through this transition. Last thing here is there was in the catalogs, the little star with an E. Those are going to be indicated in the catalogs you guys have. I think we're going to keep those in this next edition of catalogs. That will go away once we're fully through this transition, but you will see that as an indicator for anything going through a transition in the next couple sets of these product catalogs. There's also a QR code here that you can scan, and that will give you a little bit of a video that shows the enhancement that we're doing from the 440 to the 444, as we talked about earlier. And if there's any other questions, you guys don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to myself, Rick, Erica, whoever you feel most comfortable with, and we'll do our best to get you the answers that you need. Thanks so much. Have a great day.